Hey, Kevin.
Yeah!
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? All right, hold on. How about now?
Hey guys.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, it's
Hi.
working.
Okay, so how do you know? Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, I guess I can hear you.
Hi.
Hey, it's working.
Okay, so how do you know? Oh, that's so cool.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we have Kevin, we have Melissa. Who are we missing?
Okay. We're getting a lot of reverb. I think everyone needs to turn their volumes down. We have one more.
So we're missing one more, right? Who are we missing?
Melissa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh wait, no, we have Melissa. Who else? Oh, Elise.
Lisa. We're missing Elise.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I think we have to talk one at a time. That might help with the background noise.
Correct.
So how are you guys doing?
Where are you at, man?
I'm in San Francisco. I came here this week for a business trip, and I'm flying back tomorrow home.
Melissa, where are you at? Melissa, can you hear us?
She's probably in Germany.
Yeah,
I see.
sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's
Germany
okay.
flag back there on her room.
I think it's my turn. There's a lot of talking. I'm in Loma Linda, California.
I wish I was in California right now.
It's really hot here, so.
There you go. Elise just joined
Elise
us.
is with us.
We got Elise. It keeps switching back and forth between all of your screens when you talk.
Yeah. So Elise, can you hear us?
I can barely
We barely
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Are we supposed to record this?
It's recording right now.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Are you recording right now?
So what happened was I believe this is my first time doing this, so I apologize, everybody.
You did.
I sent the wrong link, and the link was to my personal YouTube account, so I apologize. So I was kind of screwing around while everyone was watching my ugly mug on here, and I found the link. So I think we got it all going as far as and Elise is on now too, right? Hi, Elise.
Hi.
Who
Kevin,
wants to run it?
Yeah, I think Kevin, from my previous experience with this, I think it will be. I mean, this will be my recommendation, right? We should have this initial interaction first, right? So we could, now for this purpose, will be like a quick run around, so we get to know each other better, and then for that purpose, and then we put a plan together how we're going to do our homework. So who's gonna kick off? Who's gonna talk about what? And then we make that plan together. And then that for that purpose, from my previous experience, we don't need to record that. And then once we start talking about the actual assignment, and then when you start recording.
Okay.
Unless that's from previous experience I have with this type of classes, that you have a group connection that need to be recorded and posted. From my experience, the instructor wanted to see just we talking about the assignment itself, not us like discussing game plan and how we're gonna do their homework. experience with classes like this, that you have group interactions, that you have any thoughts around that?
I think that's great. So,
Who's that talking? I can barely can hear.
can you hear me?
She has to,
Is that Elise or Melissa talking?
Elise.
Can you hear me?
Elise? It's-
Maybe turn up the
I'm
volume.
hearing very low. Yeah.
Hmm.
So anyone has any thoughts around that? Any ways that we can do that, or we equate to? I mean, whatever we decide to do, we're here as a group, and you know, I guess we have to. This is a communication, right? Class, leadership, and we have to be aligned as a group. How we'll be approaching this class going forward.
Hey, Elise, can you hear us? Because we're having trouble. Your volume sounds like it's a little bit low.
Yeah,
But now, it turned down.
say that again.
I can hear the rest of you. I just can't hear Elise for some reason.
I can't hear her neither.
Can you
Elise,
hear
do
me
have
okay?
any-
I can
Do you
hear
have
her.
any headphones that have a microphone on them that might help? It might just be your microphone on your computer.
Okay.
And I guess your camera is not on, because I only can see your picture. You're not moving.
Her camera's on.
I can see her.
I think
Zero?
she has to go to the settings on her computer to like adjust the sound.
I thought I was trying to do it on my end, but I can't. All I can do is mute people, and I don't want to mute anybody. But no, I can't do that.
I think once we get the sound figured out, then we can discuss fully what's going to happen next.
I bet that all the other groups are doing this exact same conversation in their first
sure.
meeting. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Was the time okay with everybody as far as meeting at this time?
Yeah.
yeah, it works great.
That works. Works good.
Mhm.
So the live broadcast right now, this is being recorded, and the only way that we can go live is if it's being recorded. So if you guys want me to create a different, like a brand new one, if we all want to go around and introduce ourselves and say hi and whatnot or whatever, and then we can create a different one. I just thought maybe if you guys wanted to talk and say hi to each other and introduce yourselves, we could also add that on to the 15 minutes that's needed for the assignment. But it's up to everybody else if you guys want to take a vote and do whatever you wanted to do.
I imagine there's going to be grace for this first video on that 15 minutes. So
Yeah, you're right.
I'd almost rather us stick with this because we already know it's working.
I mean,
It's true.
I'm sure we could submit something that's like a half hour long or whatever. I don't think the professor is going to mind a whole lot. She seems pretty nice about that sort of thing. So
you were saying that.
Honestly, yeah, I think she wants to see us interact a little bit like this too.
yeah,
What were you
So
going
you're
to
saying
say?
we have to submit 50 minutes total, or 50 minutes each person is speaking?
no, 15 minutes total of just us discussing. That was my understanding. It was 15 minutes of us talking about what we've read in the chapters, and then if I'm not mistaken, I believe. Bear with me.
Got it. 12 to 15 minutes. I'm just looking at the assignment. On the,
Correct.
like,
She wanted us to. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize. So discussion prompt is what qualities make a good leader? What qualities make for a poor leader? And in discussing this, please consider the material from chapters 1 and 2 from the text and lectures. as well as personal experiences and mediated or television examples. One person from each group will need to submit the YouTube link. In addition, please be sure to list the names of all group members in attendance. Remember, the discussion needs to be between 12 and 15 minutes. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So do you guys want to go through and introduce yourselves to the group just so we can kind of get to know each other?
Sure, go ahead.
So how long do we have so far? Who's gonna be timing and how long we have so far? Because if we start at 7, it's already 7:30 here in Pacific time, so we pretty much have 2 minutes left.
I
Who
can.
wants to keep time?
I can.
Okay, thank you.
So do you want to finish then at 7:30 once we get everybody, the whole group gets to talk and say something?
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I got it.
Melissa, you want to introduce yourself and go first?
Sure. So obviously I don't live in Germany, and this is a Slovenia flag over here. My husband loves to travel and he's obsessed with maps and whatnot. So this is his office I'm in. We live in Loma Linda, California. I'm originally from up north. I don't know if you guys have heard of Lodi, California, but it's about 45 minutes south of Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that's my hometown. I was born and raised there. But I moved down here because I got married, got a different job. My husband's in school for a master's program at Loma Linda University, so this is where we are for now. I'm not a huge fan of Southern California. It's a lot hotter down here, but overall, it's been an interesting adjustment. But I work at Starbucks, and I'm going to school through them with ASU Online. I'm sure you've heard of quite a few others doing the same.
Me too.
Yeah, nice. And yeah,
What's your
this is
major?
communications is my major. I'm actually an interpreter for the deaf. I work with English and American Sign Language. And so this essentially marriages really well with my my interests. So that's me.
How far are you with your degree?
I have 5 classes to take, so I'm almost done.
Okay, great.
And it feels pretty good.
I know.
This is my 6th to last class. I know how you feel. But I
Anyway.
bet I'm much older than you.
I'm 29, so I look a lot younger than I am.
I got you beat.
But hey,
Amelie?
it's when you're in the process, it feels different for everybody. So
So Melissa, you say you're in Long Beach?
I'm in Loma Linda, California, so East LA.
Got it.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
who's up next?
Job, you want to go?
Absolutely. Yes. Hey everyone, my name is Joabi, and I'm here also in South California, specifically in Fontana. And I'm originally from Brazil. I moved to US back in 2005. And currently, my major is organizational leadership. And I have 4 classes left to graduation. I'm super excited. And I work with human resource for Starbucks Corporation. And so Melissa, you mentioned your Loma Linda. My wife, she works in Loma Linda, actually the Loma Linda Hospital.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's also Brazilian, and she's speech therapist. She works at the hospital. We are married for 12 years, and then we have 2 kids. The boy is 8 years old, and the baby girl, she's 4. I was just talking to them a little bit ago. We travel, and then we miss the kids, and then glad to be back home tomorrow. Yeah, that's a little bit about myself. I'm enjoying this class. That's a lot about leadership, which takes a big portion of my current role, and I'm learning a lot. I'm taking advantage that Starbucks is actually this program, getting 100% fully paid by the business, and and I'm taking advantage of that. And definitely, my game plan is after graduation, and then I'm moving to a master program.
Awesome.
Is it pronounced Joabe?
Joabe, yes, as Portuguese, Joabe. Yeah, you're right.
That's awesome. That's interesting.
Right, who's up next?
Jess, it looks like you're the next picture on the screen there.
Okay, well, I'm Jess, obviously. I am, 7 classes away from finishing, so I'm really excited about that. And I actually worked it out to where my last 2 semesters, I'm only taking 2 of my major classes, and the rest are electives. So, so I'm taking a stress management class right now, which is 10 minutes of breathing exercises, and I get 10 points for that every week automatically. So that's pretty great.
Yeah. Why did I not know about these classes?
Oh, so all you have to do is Google easiest classes to take at ASU, and they all satisfy my elective credits, so it's great. I'm a communications major. I live here in Huntsville, Alabama, and I've lived here all my life, so I really love living here. It's great. And then, yeah, so I also work at Starbucks, and I'm doing the ASU program, which is amazing. So I had kind of struggled getting through college. I didn't ever want to graduate with debt, and so I was taking 1 or 2 classes at a time to be able to just take what I could afford. And then I started working at Starbucks, and they said, "Hey, we'll pay for your college." And I said, "Sounds great." So I started about 4 years ago, and I'm almost done. I'll be done in July, so can't wait for that.
Nice.
Yeah, so in addition to working at Starbucks, I also work at a church. I'm a student ministry associate, so I do all of the youth events and all that stuff. So I work there about 30 to 40 hours a week, and then work at Starbucks about 30 hours a week, and then do school. So, and I'm taking 18 hours this semester, and then I sleep.
Wow.
Sometimes.
18 hours. Wow.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's fortunately, I really like the term system where I'm only taking 3 at a time, or 3 classes at a time. So that works out. But yeah, keep myself busy. I like hiking. I like singing. I like film, and then hanging out with my dog too. So I guess that's me.
Very good. Very good.
Thanks, Jess.
Yeah.
Kevin, I don't know if I probably missed that, or what's your major, Kevin?
Me?
Yeah.
Communications.
Okay, so we have all communication. Very good. Thank you.
I was going to let Elise go next.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? No.
Can you guys hear her?
Mm.
No.
I can.
Elise, we can barely hear you. Okay. Yeah, we'll still be here when you get back. She said she's going to leave the call and then come back.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I wonder if it's something with the computer, because I'm not having a hard time hearing any of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably just a microphone setting.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can. There's all these controls. Oh! All right. So there's a thing on here. I don't know. Do you guys have controls or anything on your screen, or no? Or is it just me?
I just have Google
You have
Control.
on the left side, they have the control room. That's what you're
Yeah,
talking
that's what I'm. So when she comes back, I'm going to raise her volume up. just a little bit more and see if that helps out.
Welcome
but
back,
that's
Lee.
Can you hear me now?
there you go. She's back.
A little bit better, yeah.
A little better.
Oh,
Slightly.
if everyone's quiet, we can actually hear you.
I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I've been Googling it. I don't know what it is.
Hmm.
We can kind of hear you. Go ahead, Elise.
Okay. My name's Elise. I started my freshman year at Colorado Christian University, played soccer, college soccer. I also am a Starbucks partner. I work there currently, so I transferred. I'm a business and communications major, which is awesome. Yeah, I don't know.
Elise, are you the one that lives in Chicagoland area?
Yeah, so I live in Chicago, and I'm actually on my way down now to Kentucky. So I'm in the middle of Indiana, going down to a wedding for my best friend from like when I was really little. So yeah. it's exciting.
Indiana's a horrible drive.
Yeah, 7 hours.
It's
7 hours of nothing.
and big windmills, and that's it.
I know. Every time I see one, I'm like, oh gosh, bring me back.
For the past 4 years now, we've gone to the Smoky Mountains and hung out in Gatlinburg and in Tennessee, and we love it down there. So yeah, but the drive through Indiana, no bueno.
No bueno. We were going tonight, so,
It's horrible.
yeah.
It's so bad.
So just to update everybody, we have 6 minutes before it's 7:30.
Okay.
So who wants to talk about the chapters?
Do you guys want me to introduce myself or no?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I
Go
can-
ahead.
Just like skip Kevin. He's fine.
I could care less. Like Elise, I live in the Chicagoland area. I'm in the western suburbs. 40 years old, father of 2 boys. I've been going to college for a long time now. I went to Columbia College Chicago for radio broadcasting. I wanted to do on-air radio. Had a couple stints. I had a stint at a country radio station here, US 99. And then I also,
39.5.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I also interned at a classic rock station, which is not classic rock anymore. And then I quit school, and then I went back to school at Roosevelt University in Chicago. And then my wife and I had our firstborn. I dropped out of school, and after our second boy was born, I decided I really wanted to finish because my company pays 100% for the tuition and books and everything, and it's kind of a no-brainer no matter where you go. So I picked Arizona State. This is my 6th to last class. I can only take 1 class a semester because boys and work and all that other good stuff. So I've been slowly but surely for the past 3 years knocking everything out. And the only class I really had a problem with was Com 207. I actually had to drop out of the class.
Same here. Same here.
Which class?
Com 207.
It was so hard.
Brutal.
7. Which one's that?
Yeah, I just finished that one.
It's basically an English class.
Yep.
Okay.
With APA. You're basically practicing APA. That's all it is.
Research.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to any. I still have Com 308, Com 408, and Com 207 left.
Mhm.
Trio, it's not fun. I did not enjoy that one.
those are some of the classes that I have left, and on top of this one. But I was really looking forward to this one. So, but yeah, that's it. I've lived in Illinois all my life. We like traveling. Drove down to Georgia last year to visit my aunt and uncle. They live just east of Georgia or east of Atlanta. Yeah, east of Atlanta. So we like to drive, and I think we're heading down to the mountains again this year. So, but that's me.
Nice.
But yeah, Joabe, did you want to like hit up the chapters as far as just discussing what? I don't know. How do you guys want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, we can chime in. I mean, we can all. I don't know how we want to handle that, but my thought process was, we have basically two questions, right, that we have to go through. What qualities makes a good leader, and what quality makes a poor leader, right? So, from my understanding, we have to focus on those two questions and then incorporate concepts from chapter 1 and 2. So, for my point of view, to be a good leader, I mean, you need to have some skills that will kind of drive you, and then it will kind of lead you to lead in a good sense, right? You have a variety of skills, and since this class is pretty much focused mainly on the communication piece of the leadership, right? So we have our chapter 1, where page number 10 and 11 pretty much have a good summary and as far as the content goes, and then the concepts around a special form of human communication, right? So you go from the leadership perspective, right? So about how you are, right, and how about how you act, and what do you do, right? And then on top of that, how you work with others, in the sense that from you in the leadership role, right? How you react with people, how you communicate with folks, in the sense that are you providing a communication that is fully understandable across the organization, right? So for me, as an example, when I come to different sites to do training or do some policy implementation and do different things. So my mainly work site is Rancho Cucamonga. I oversee a facility that we have about 300 people on site. And then when we have to come out with some communication that we need to broadcast, right? And then my thought process is how we're gonna do that effectively, right? Ensuring that everyone has the same message, right? We have a very diverse population. We have people from Mexico, we have people from US, we have people from everywhere. In California, we have a lot of Hispanic population. So, I need to make sure that everyone understands where we are communicating. So a lot of times, and I have to come up, and then wherever communication we're going through, I have to get that and translate to Spanish. I speak Spanish as well. And then, but my main intent is ensuring that everyone has the same information. I don't want to get to the point that we are broadcasting the information and we have our Hispanic population that is clueless what we're talking about, right? So to ensure that everyone is on the same page, and then I take that initiative to go and translate the content in Spanish and then present that to make sure everybody is on the same page.
Melissa, who do you think is a good leader right now? Like, who would be one of your? What do you think makes a good leader? What about an example of like someone in leadership?
Like characteristics of a leader?
Or just anybody in general?
I usually see somebody in power above me as a leader. I know that I think it was chapter 7. I know that's not what we're covering, but talked about managing and leadership and how they're different. And I was actually like taken back by that, because usually managers to me are somebody I see as a leader. I don't see them as a separate entity from itself. So people I see who are leader, specifically like my boss, tomorrow we're having our district manager come in. It's kind of a big deal. She's a boss of a boss. In our little realm of Starbucks, that's kind of a known thing when your boss's boss comes in, especially because we're having a remodel done. That's really why they're coming to visit. But it kind of makes you shake in your boots a little bit. And to me, that shows that they're in control because I'm a subordinate to them. Not to say that that's a bad thing. I think it's good to look up to people and to feel their sense of authoritarianism. But I just like looking at the different types of leaders. There's I think it was authoritarian.
In chapter 2.
Yeah, in chapter 2. That actually was interesting because it kind of showed you a spectrum of leadership and gave more of a definition of who you're working with and what falls under those categories. So for me, with my direct boss, who I see as a leader of our team, she's definitely a go-getter, get her done, no messing around. When she gives you instructions, you move forward. So I would say for that specific example, she's definitely authoritarian.
We had a supervisor. I worked for an industrial supply company in Elmhurst, Illinois, and this was the type of guy. So our company is really weird. It doesn't really promote from within. Like, I will never be a management person just because I don't have an Ivy League degree, or I didn't go to Michigan State or Stanford. We have a lot of grads from there. But we have this supervisor that just came in from Princeton. He's been in the department for a year, and we had another supervisor. So we 3 supervisors, 1 manager. We had this other supervisor who actually did the work that we do. We were on the floor. We're lifting heavy stuff all day. We're getting dirty. We're, shipping out huge freight orders. Well, this supervisor that we had, his name was Joe. He actually did the stuff that we do. So if you ever needed to leave 10 minutes early, we don't punch a clock. We get paid. So if you ever needed to leave 10 minutes early because of your kids, or you had a doctor's appointment, it was like, hey, do you want me to make up the 10 minutes? He was like, no, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Whereas this guy, this other guy from Princeton, I'm not going to name names because this is on YouTube. This other guy from Princeton comes in, and he is by the book. He's 22 years old. He has an Ivy League degree, and he thinks he's running the joint. So it was like, hey, I had to go get an oil change. I was like, hey, man, you mind if I leave a couple minutes early? I got an oil change in St. Charles that I got to make. And he's like, you couldn't schedule it earlier? And from that point on, I was like, all right, I know what I'm dealing with. So, he was more of the authoritarian, whereas Joe was more democratic, because Joe actually was in our Joe did the work that we do on a daily basis. And I'm not knocking my company. I've been with them for 12 years, and I don't plan on leaving even after I get my degree. The only reason I'm getting my degree is because it's something that I started and I wanted to finish, and I never finished to begin with. And because my company pays 100% for it, so I'm not going to knock my company because of some of the people that they hire. But I'm pretty sure me and Jess are the only ones that don't work for Starbucks. Am I correct?
No, I work for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Melissa, you say you work for Starbucks too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Starbucks, yeah.
No, Elisa works. Jesse works. I work. Melissa, you work too?
Yep.
For Starbucks, yeah. So I'm the only one that doesn't work for Starbucks.
It's never too late. You can
Well, but at least you're getting the same
fill out an
benefit.
application online.
I'm good. My wife's got the gold. My wife has the gold card.
Nice.
There you go. I've always found when the leaders I most admire are the ones that kind of have a balance of both the authoritarian and then also democratic. I've never really cared for or felt that I am under the authority of people who are the laissez-faire, or I don't think I'm saying that right, but
Laissez-faire.
okay, thank you.
You were close.
I was like, I'm just gonna rush through it and see if anyone notices, but
I wasn't gonna say anything, man.
so, because you have to have a balance of both listening to the people that you're trying to lead and getting their feedback, and then also responding with feedback to them, and then also having that we have to follow the rules kind of thing too. Not to the point of where it's the extreme where there's no leniency and there's no grace, but having a balance of those two. And that's kind of when I did the self-assessment portion, that's kind of where I fell. I got mostly democratic, and then the one that I scored really high on in the authoritarian was they should monitor rules and regulations, because I think those are important and they're there for a reason. But like Kevin was talking about, you have to have the grace to realize that you're working with people, and if they need to sometimes leave 5 minutes early, you have to be like, okay, that's okay. It's not the biggest of deals, but and then if there's an issue where there's safety concerns happening, that's where you need to say, hey, let's go back to regulation on this, and really follow that because of safety, because of quality, because it provides the best product or the best service. And then also realize that when you're correcting, when you're working with people, that you don't have to be so by the book necessarily, but you can communicate and just talk and say, hey, we do it this way because of this, or if you try it this way, it might work better for you, that kind of thing. And it's all in how you approach that correction and that regulation of the rules too. So my new manager, so I've been at my store for 4 years now, and I've had 3 managers so far. So yeah. So the first one went on her coffee break. The second one was too good at his job and then moved to a different store in town. And then this new one went on maternity leave for about 6 months right after she started. So, but whenever she first started, she was very, very by the book without any leniency at all. And then she also wouldn't listen to us at all when our store is kind of unique in some of our customers and stuff like that. So there were times where she would say, hey, no, you can't have 2 people on bar in the morning. And we'd be like, what do you mean we can't have 2 people on bar and stuff like that? And so we had to talk to her and be like, hey, this is why for our specific store this works better. And she's really changed a lot and listens to kind of our feedback and our needs too. So kind of having that balance too between the authoritarian where you follow the rules, but then also the democratic where you listen to your employees and your team too. I think that creates a healthy work environment, and then also creates respect for that leader from the people who are following.
Have you guys noticed that, like, the supervisors or management team that you get, they treat you with respect? You're going to want to work a little bit harder for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
If you have respect for them, then the same goes both ways.
Elise,
When you
how is your store? Are you at a store or like a Starbucks store?
Yeah, I'm at Starbucks too. And I have similar circumstances. Like, we had quite a bit of turmoil. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Last year, we had our manager go on maternity leave, and we had a series of various different managers come in as a replacement. And it was tough because they were completely different leadership styles. So, like, our manager is a little bit more democratic, and the person that had come in was so lax and so laid back, and so, you guys can figure out what to do. You know how to work the store. That it was just a weird switch for all of us. But it was interesting to see the 2 different leadership styles. So our store is like definitely probably the busiest in our district. And so because of that, we need a little bit more of like the authoritarian style, I personally. and because this person was so laid back that like it was hard to, have like a well-functioning store. So it really, I think that leadership coincides with your environment that you're into, like, and vice versa.
Melissa? Oh, you already talked.
But I have something I want to say too that's interesting. Do you guys feel like leaders who are authoritarian can have an emotional side where they disconnect themselves as being a leader and feel that you can relate to them in a way, like on a different level, like not related to work at all, but like maybe on a personal level? Do you think that's possible to achieve?
Wait, say that again.
So as an authoritarian, do you think that that person could step away from their role and be, because the book talked about being emotionally connected to the followers. Do you feel like that's only something that a democratic leader can do, or do you feel like it can fall on both sides of the spectrum, but closer to authoritarianism? Where you can almost disconnect yourself from your role.
Yeah, like you can be like extremely authoritarian or democratic or slightly, or so it seems like there's always part of the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that the democratic approach, leadership style, you'll be able to get away or get your emotions involved, because that particular leadership style, you engaging with people, right? You're not doing that individually and then you're enforcing, which entitles to the other.
Well, especially in all of your guys' environment, you're running coffee shops. I mean, don't you have to talk to your team members?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Teamwork
Yeah.
is dream work, right?
Exactly. And for me,
What we say every morning.
Yeah, exactly. And then you made a good point, right? So, for me particularly, we have Elise and Jesse and then Melissa working for Starbucks, but on the retail side, right? I work on the manufacturing side, which is support a Evolution Fresh, which is the juice manufacturing business that was acquired by Starbucks. And then, when I see my supervisors and then my leadership, coming in with conversation, and we have to get this partner, and we have to discipline, and we have to write up and say, well, hold on, let's review the situation. Let's understand what's going on, right? Let's come up with some initial coaching approach, right? Versus just someone made a mistake and let's penalize from that. I am a strong believer that everyone learns by mistake. And my initial approach is always give people opportunity to learn from their mistake and grow from that.
Did you guys happen to read that case study about the owner of Patagonia?
Was it in chapter 2?
Yeah. About how he started
on page 45. Sorry.
I'm glad you said that because I was going too far.
I don't think I didn't go through that.
It blew my mind as far as how he started the company and like the stuff that he gives back, and how not laissez-faire, but more democratic, how there's no I just thought it was cool to read.
As if it's social driven, I mean, Patagonia is a company to work for, but like it's because they have maybe causes outside of for the sole purpose of making a profit,
Yeah, and people can just take off and go surfing if the surf is good, I guess. I only visit California. I only have family there. I've never gone. I'm not a surfing type of guy. I can barely walk down the stairs without tripping over my feet sometimes.
But yeah, definitely like point it that they've developed their own unique leadership style, and clearly they've been successful. So there's definitely different types that work. But anyways, in conclusion,
Code word for Elise is done.
Elise is like, dude, I just want to go to bed.
She's like, I've got a wedding to be in.
love the class here. So, but is there anything else that we want to go over in the 2 chapters specifically?
No, I think we're good. We're pretty good. I mean, we're hitting about an hour conversation.
I know.
They're
So
gonna
much
love
for
me.
my timekeeping, huh?
Sorry, I think
Sorry,
everybody
guys.
likes each other though, so everyone is really nice. So I appreciate you guys kind of hanging with me. I've been trying to work on. I was like working on this thing last night, and my boys were like all over my computer. I was like, "Get out of here!"
We're not really nice. It's all just fake. It's all show
No.
from 40.
we are all nice. We work for Starbucks except for Kevin.
Yeah. Are you saying we're
I
all
still-
nice except for Kevin, or?
That's the alien.
No, I just think it's funny. Like, of all the classes I've taken, there's only been a handful of people who don't work for Starbucks in them. So I'm
Yeah.
always like stunned. I'm like, wow, there's somebody else.
I always like to find those discussion posts and respond to those.
My company's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. We probably sell a lot of stuff to Starbucks. It's just the warehouse that I'm in is huge. It's like a 1 million square foot warehouse. It's not Amazon, by the way.
Not Amazon. I was gonna guess that.
So we've narrowed it down. We can cross Amazon off the list.
It's not Amazon. We have a big catalog though. Well, did anybody else want to say anything or?
No, I think we did a great job today, and I believe
Good job,
that
everybody. Good job.
Well done.
and I believe that should be our approach going forward. We should, everybody comes prepared, understanding the chapter, and then everybody chime in for about, 5 minutes, and then we should be able to accomplish that 12, 15 minutes, or probably a little bit or more, because we have 5 people in a group. Then, I think we did an outstanding job today. Everybody was able to come up with good information, good example, and incorporating concepts from chapter 1 and 2. And hope we're gonna get a good score.
Sure we will. Do you guys all have this?
Yes.
Yep.
A
Okay.
smartphone?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking about the phone or you're talking about the app?
Calm
My
down,
beeper.
sarcasm.
Hold on,
Yeah.
let me go get my beeper. No, the Google Hangouts on the phone. I didn't even know it was an app, and then I was like, dude, how awesome is that?
Yeah, it's nice.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
kept
cool.
chiming throughout the whole first little bit.
I was like, I'm sitting here staring at myself. I'm like, oh, we're gonna fail, and they're not gonna get this phone. Sorry, everybody. I'm glad we got it all worked out, though.
By
I
the end of
think
the
that
term, we'll get it down to those 12 and 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
50 minutes for the first conversation is not too bad.
Has it been 50? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't. Fine, I've enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, it's been good.
I'm glad we get to know each other for sure.
Melissa, forgot
Luis, I'm
to
glad your
stop.
microphone's working.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
working? I don't even know. I hope so.
Are you at a hotel?
I am at Purdue University.
It might be the Wi-Fi.
Maybe.
It's probably the
I
Wi-Fi.
don't plan to travel to Kentucky every weekend though, so this will be.
You're gonna have to get a new computer. This is unacceptable.
And charge to Starbucks.
Sounds like
All right, guys, I'm gonna end it. I'll hit the stop broadcast, and then I'll submit it and list everybody that was in there, or that was.
Okay.
I'll list
I've been
everybody.
suppressing a cough this entire time, so it's about time.
Tea and honey, my friend. Tea and honey. And some
You guys
lemon.
have a great night.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
So
Bye.
up, just to make sure you're recording everything, and then you're gonna be able to submit the link at the
Right.
Blackboard, or you
Yeah,
need any assistance with that?
I'll even send I'll send you guys the link on Google Hangouts just so you guys can watch it again. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Guys,
Good night,
have a
guys.
good night.
Bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.